Vayu. The essence of life, the element as important as water. Vayu is a common name given to air. But air is not just Vayu. Vayu is the consciousness that permeates this entire universe. Vayu is something that exists in our body in 5 forms. And the Vayu that gives life is called Prana Vayu, which we can say in the gaseous form it is oxygen. Why is Vayu so important right now? Vayu is something that always goes in and out of the body in a regular rhythm. And if we somehow take control on its rhythm through pranayam, that means establishing the dimension of prana, vayu, air, we reach to the pinnacle of yoga and we become enlightened. But remember, this is not the vayu that exists outside. This is a vayu within you. This is the consciousness driven by your vital force. And this vital force will come into play when Ketu moves into Swati Nakshatra. The dance of the cosmos, I will say the dance of the timeline, the karma, and the remainder that is quite an important to the equation of life, will enter the nakshatra of Vayu, Swati Nakshatra, on 18th of October and will continue until 26th of June 2023. Around 8 months of transit, and this holds the power, this holds the secret to enlightenment, to success, to inner strength and rediscovering your true abilities, something that you have forgotten. Going back to your childhood dream and fulfilling it. Quitting the monotonous job and maybe figuring out a way to explore and finding a new version of you. Whereas some will be driven because of the internal satisfaction, some will be driven because of their spiritual goals and spiritual desires. But you have to also understand that not only this Ketu is going to bring in the spiritual angle to your existence, but on the negative side, it can also inflammate your desire, can make you take decisions which are reckless and based on the theory of expansion and supremacy. Ketu is a planet that shows what you leave behind, not as a legacy, but like a tale. Also what you carry, the baggage that you carry from the past life. And this is one area which talks about manifestation of reality. If you remove head from the body, you are removing 4 sensory organs, and what is left is just one sensory organ, that is sense of touch. So Ketu is also a planet that will experiment. That has no other way to figure out the reality, which also means that you would want to burn your hands and then find out good or bad about a certain event in your life, a certain attribute of your life. This Ketu in Swati transit is one of the most important transit in the recent time, considering what is happening with Rahu and what is happening with Jupiter and Saturn. Ketu is a planet of moksha, isolation. But do you know how this isolation and moksha works? Ketu, if it goes bad, if it goes negative, can simply take away everything. That's one way of giving you moksha. Moksha means liberation. It can be an unwanted liberation. Things being taken and snatched away. You feeling deprived. Talk to people who have Venus and Ketu conjunction. But on the other hand, Ketu can also act as a spiritual master, a spiritual guru that will help you cross the Bhavasagar, because you have to leave things behind in order to cross the river. And this planet Ketu, especially in this Swati Nakshatra, will tell you how to negotiate with yourself. Welcome to the world of internal negotiation. Swati, Suvati, extremely auspicious, but a nakshatra ruled by Rahu, in a zodiac ruled by Venus. Well, if I join all these dots together, I see a Rahu, Ketu and Venus power conjunction, and also Rahu being in Bharani Nakshatra is also influenced by the power of Dharma, because Bharani is ruled by Dharmaraj, Yamaraj, and also the power of Venus, the power of creation. With Ketu in Swati Nakshatra, you will see that new boundaries are being explored, new avenues are being challenged, and you are reaching new destinations in your life, but all will come at a cost. The problem is, what is the cost? Is it too heavy for you? Is it worth paying for what you want to achieve? That is a question that you must ask from yourself. And if you don't find a justifiable answer, don't take that initiative. Because Ketu will take initiative based on emotions and based on curiosity. Remember, once again, there is only one sense that Ketu has, and that is sense of touch, because Ketu will go and touch and feel. So Ketu will feel, and therefore when Ketu goes in Swati, even smallest of insult, smallest of points will make you feel more deeper. Talks will have a deeper impression, good or bad, and you must understand this not only while you are taking that impression, but also when you are delivering that talk, that your words will mean much more from now onwards. Ketu is also said to be connected with Mars, an afflicted Mars, a negative Mars, a Mars that wants to destroy. But Swati is a blade of grass flowing in air, speaking about individuality. When Ketu goes in Swati, it talks about isolated individuality. It talks about compartmentalization of the brain. It talks about discipline and segregation. And when it is done with good intention, this will make you more stable. This will make your mind more focused on individual areas, and then it will act as a beads of gems, beads of pearls, where each pearl is individual but is bounded by a single thread, a common anchor point. You need to find that anchor point before the mind disintegrates into many factions, into many pieces. And therefore, there are two things that you have to be very careful during the Ketu transit in Swati. And number one is differentiating between different things and trying to do too many things all at once, bringing too many responsibilities on your plate and not able to execute either of them. And number two is procrastination, pushing things to the future, thinking you will complete. Assumption of strength is the biggest mistake that you can do during this time. Remember, no matter how strong Swati is, no matter how strong diplomatic power Swati holds, no matter how strong Swati can make you, Ketu has the power to take everything away. Ketu is like amnesia. You can forget your true strength, but you can also remember if you explore deep, and that is what Rahu is here for. Swati is a nakshatra ruled by Rahu, and Rahu in Bharani Nakshatra talks about dharma, talks about internal rejuvenation. So this is not an externalized transit. It is internalization of energy, and that is why I was talking about Vayu, that is internal, the supreme consciousness that dawns within you, the Mooladhara Chakra. A planet that represents flags, a planet that represents moksha, a planet that represents completion, a planet that represents expansion comes to Swati, and now it wants independence. It wants freedom. So you will see a lot of freedom movement going on across the world, lot of power struggle happening, people trying to free themselves. Slavery will come to an end in any form, or at least people will raise their voice against impractical demands and expect a huge transition in technology during this time. But beware of any assumption of freedom. Assumption of freedom is what will be offered by Rahu in Bharani to test you, because only a few will pass through the funnel of Ketu, because Rahu is far more inclusive when compared to Ketu. Imagine a funnel. Rahu is the mouth of the funnel, whereas Ketu is the tip. Only the worthy can pass the test of Ketu, and if you pass the test of Ketu, you will understand that the true intention of Ketu was never material, it was always spiritual. So a lot of people who are spiritual, who are in spiritual line, who are more religious, will become far more spiritual, will become more calm, more silent, but will have an internal war, a war to find themselves. And if you have Moon, Venus or Jupiter associated with Ketu in your birth chart, does not matter anywhere it is, expect a sudden jolt of reality coming your way, and you must embrace it, you must accept it, you must understand it. When there is a fall and somebody falls on the head and there is a cut, a doctor will use a needle to stitch the cut. It is painful for the time being. You have to take care because it has a chance of infection, but it will definitely save your life. Understand Ketu as a temporary spiritual operation, and especially in the nakshatra of Rahu, that it will penetrate deep and will try to bring out the negative so that you can throw it away. So before expressing your negative energy onto someone else, before venting out your anger or ego to someone else, understand the roots of that, understand the origin. Not everybody will understand, but everybody can give it a try. You can feel reckless, you can feel that you are headed without any direction, you are just shooting in the blind. But sometimes hope will work wonder. Hope works like wonder, and it helps you get out of the clutches of darkness. And Ketu can free you from those clutches. Just you need to think smart and you need to focus on dharma. One more angle of this transit will be the power of Ketu to bring past life connection. Relationships made during this period will have a very high chance of having a karmic connection, the karma bandhan from the past life. Now that does not necessarily mean it will be positive. It can be a karma, a loan, a debt that you have to repay or you will get in return, that your horoscope will show. So you have to be just slightly careful during this time. Also, the beginning of the Ketu transit is with a solar eclipse. That means Ketu gets very close to the soul, to the Atman. And that is why I say the Sun and Ketu eclipse is highly occult. It has the power to penetrate deep inside you, and you will be able to explore your true reality, but you should be ready to give up who you know you are to find out who you truly are, who are you in reality. However troublesome that discovery may be. That means a lot of people will lose friends, a lot of people will lose trust on many people, a lot of Divorces will happen, lot of breakups will happen, individual energies will become more dominant this time. But this will also establish meaningful relations, karmic relations. So this is the time when you should not think that somebody is your enemy, but everybody is a part of a bigger game and playing a role towards each other as a collective consciousness. Because when Ketu goes in Swati, it talks about collective consciousness, it talks about common intention, it talks about common motivation, and that should drive the humanity forward. Also, when Ketu is in the sign of Libra, it will be aspected by Saturn until 17th of January 2023. Henceforth, this is highly karmic energy, and this is the time to declutter. This is the time to break away from the bondage and find a new version, a new side of you. You have to explore yourself and figure out what talent you have. Does not matter whether you are a young person or an old person. Everybody has a hidden talent, and you must explore. Do not forget that Rahu is in Bharani, which means new creation, new creativity. So when you will focus on creativity, you will see that this will give you a lot of focus, a lot of growth, a lot of success. It is also the time that will help creative professionals finding out a new identity. This is the time when you will see that there will be a huge and dramatic personality change if you have any planet in Swati Nakshatra, or if you are somehow associated with Libra zodiac sign closely, like you are a Libra moon, Libra ascendant, or you have Ketu in Libra zodiac sign. This is a transit which will be, I will say, fulfilled by the presence of Jupiter. Jupiter is in the Pisces zodiac sign, and Pisces is one zodiac sign which is also somehow connected with Ketu. How? Pisces is the 12th house. You have to leave things behind to start a new journey. You have completed your journey, and Ketu talks about completion. Ketu talks about achievement, victory. And when Swati is about victory, it is also about the sacrifices that you will have to give, and you have to make to reach to that victory, to that destination. And when Jupiter is in Pisces zodiac sign, in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it is a power-packed combination because Jupiter is in the Prarabdha of Ketu. Now when Saturn aspects Ketu with the 10th aspect, and Ketu finds Jupiter 6th from itself, this itself is a time that we will see a lot of spiritual people, highly energized source of what we can say, Shakti Punj, will come out in the open. You can say rise of a saint somewhere, somehow, directly or indirectly influencing the society. And that will be a key factor that will tap into our consciousness. What should you do about this? How can you make this Ketu transit in Swati Nakshatra beneficial for you? Well, it's a very simple remedy. Do pranayam. Exercise, breathing exercise has to be done. Taking control of your breathing is taking control of the Vayu within you. By doing that, the grace of the Vayu Deva and the Vayu Putra Bhagwan Hanuman will come. Read Sundarkand and understand that this is the time that you will have to find innovation by giving up the obvious. Therefore, pray to Lord Ganesha. In case you are troubled by the negative energies of Ketu, in case you think that you are being forced to quit, you are being forced to leave, say, be it a career, be it marriage, or be it just a simple family equation, then chant Sankashtanashanam Ganesha Stotram, because Bhagwan Ganesh has the power to pacify Ketu. Also, Ketu means not taking everything to yourself, not keeping everything. Ketu is neither a minimalist nor a maximalist. Ketu just says, nothing is yours. Everything is on debt, on loan. So just share what you can. Donate your old clothes. Let go of old memories. But you may also have to face a karmic incomplete task that will stand right in front of you, and you will have no other option but to face it. So face it. Because if you will call it a quit. Well, that's not what the quit of Ketu means. The quit of Ketu is quit the material, fulfill your duty, finish your job, and find the Vaikuntha. Every morning, pray to Bhagwan Vishnu. You can also pray to Narsimha Bhagwan, Narsimha avatar of Mahavishnu in case you are feeling the fear. A lot of people think Ketu is a planet that is dreadful, that is fearful, that is there to kill you. The attachment has to go away to exist in proper environment. You have to adjust according to what environment you are in. You will also see, especially the air zodiac sign, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, that you will have the greatest of transformation during this Ketu transit. Fire zodiac, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius must give up their ego, or else you might face a lot of gastrointestinal disturbance. Why you can be malign and you can have this Vata Tattva issues in the body, which can then corrupt your thoughts, and the entire train of thought will result into an unexpected, unwanted action, and then it becomes karma. It registers itself as your own karma, and then the same Ketu will give you the punishment. So you have to understand the vicious circle here. Well, Swati is also, it also has the power to manifest what you want in life. But see, this is the quality of Ketu. Pursuing something because you're supposed to get it and pursuing something desperately because you just need it are two different things. Ketu will say, quit what you want from life, focus on what you need and then work, and then forget about the end result. This is the true manifestation of karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Overall, the Ketu transit is going to be extremely positive for Jala Tattva and the Prithvi Tattva Rashi, the water element and the earth element zodiac sign. So be very, very careful about the information that penetrates your mind during this time. Whom you are listening to, whose talks are influencing you, what is influencing you, why it is influencing you. Use more of your time for spiritual discovery, spiritual curiosity, to quench the spiritual curiosity, and spend most of the time in upgrading, upskilling yourself so that you can leave the previous life and upgrade to a newer, more confident, more positive lifestyle. Otherwise, you will end up just contemplating, pushing, lot of planning, no real task. You will think that you have completed, but this is again the assumption of completion. One of the biggest transformation that the Ketu will bring with Swati Nakshatra is re-establishing the relationship with your loved ones. If you have somebody whom you have disconnected with and it has been a very long time, now you can get connected with that person. Remember, everyone you meet during this Ketu transit in Swati will have a very vital role in your growth. Ketu is a planet that talks about loss of consciousness, that talks about trance, that talks about meditation. A lot of people will try to take this shortcut, and anybody who tries to take shortcut will be short-circuited. No, don't take that. Otherwise, you will say that the Ketu transit has been very negative for you. For people who are in Ketu Mahadasha, Ketu Antardasha, Ketu Pratyantardasha, born in Ketu or Rahu Nakshatra, you will be influenced heavily by this Ketu transit, but more importantly, in a positive manner. And a special message for people who have Moon and Ketu conjunction, does not matter which nakshatra or which zodiac it is. If you have Moon and Ketu conjunction in your D1, which is Rashi chart, this is the time for breaking away the old habits and finding the new chapter of life, because this is the time when you have to break away from the mental chain and be a free bird. That's the message of Ketu in Swati Nakshatra. Thank you for watching this video till the end. For consultations, you can drop me an email. Please stay connected by subscribing to this channel. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, this is your host Punneit. Namaste.